demonic angel. Today we are going to do the Hierophant tarot card, number 5 of the major arcana. And you know, just I picked the random cards that I feel like I'm ready to do, or it's just the right time for that card. Sorry about the lighting. I am still figuring out what I want to do with that. Maybe waiting for some money to get better, you know, another replacement light. But standing up and then whatever holding the cards in that kind of light is not looking so good. So we're just gonna go this way for now. Yeah, let's get started. So, sorry, we have the Hierophant, and he's number 5 of the major arcana. So he looks like a little pope with 2 pillars, like we've seen with the high priestess. He is also guarding the gates to another plane of another dimension, heaven, hell, whatever. You know, that idea that in order to, you know, transcend something, there's a door, a gateway that one must pass through first. So that's the pillars of right and wrong, good and evil, the materialistic plane, and then the spiritual, any kind of duality that you could think of. This really represents this here. And he's got his little crown now, obviously. I'm using the Rider-Waite deck. But he has 2 fingers pointed upwards and then 2 fingers curled into the palm of his hand. And that's this symbol for what you see is not all that there is. So the, you know, reality, the mundane, and the physical stuff is not all that there is. So there is another side, of course, to reality. So yes, we live here in reality, but there's always a spiritual element to everything. Even the mundane is spiritual in a sense. So there's these other factors, the subconscious, the you know, the factors unseen, dreams, these kinds of things. They're just as real as the materialistic. You know, and he's got his little staff deal, and because he's like a pope. And then this guy, let's see, this guy has roses, and this one sort of has lilies, and that is another representation here of the roses representing sort of passion, intuition, and the spiritual plane, and the lilies representing logic and reasoning. And then we have now on mine, but it's there, you know, it's the crossed keys. And for me, this kind of makes me think of the goddess Hecate, the key of Hecate, you know, to enter the other veil, the other plane, crossing through the gate. The Pope, our little Pope guy, I just call him that because he, you know, that's what he's meant to look like, a spiritual advisor. He has the keys to the secrets, to the gate. In order to pass, you have to talk to him, and these people are really bowing to him, and they're really in awe of our Hierophant guy here. So that just is really, you know, the Hierophant here is any kind of religious figure. Now, Another thing about the Hierophant is that he or she is a representative of tradition, of any kind of tradition. Now, what doesn't matter how you live your life, even if you live your life as a complete, left-hand path occultist, and that's not very traditional. You still need to have traditions in your life because they're very grounding. Tradition is very good for us in some way. So, you pick and choose how you're going to apply tradition to your life. Whether it's traditional gender roles or traditional religion, there's a place and time for it in your life, and you decide how to apply that. So that is, an example would be like, even though I'm an occultist, when I found out about, my biological grandfather, I made a promise that a family member would be baptized into the Catholic Church and raised that way because my grandfather was Catholic, a very spiritual man, and I'm obviously not not Catholic, but I don't make a promise lightly. And he taught me that, obviously seeing it with different eyes now, with a different understanding, he still was able to teach me a little bit about spirituality, and that's why I promised that. So that's that place for tradition, right? I really believe everybody can should be able to choose what they're going to be, kind of a thing. And by giving, in that case, like I discussed, the chance to decide if that's for you. So that way you have the experience of growing up in a traditional sort of way or being exposed to tradition. And if you don't want to be that, that's completely fine. But I think for a lot of us, you think back in some way of some tradition that your family had or you were exposed to, and whether you like it or not, it really kind of, builds you, sticks out for you, that kind of a thing. So there's a role for traditional stuff, and it just has its place in your life in some way. Now the opposite, once again we do have the opposite here of the Hierophant. Now for me personally, the reverse of the Hierophant is the opposite of traditional religion and gender roles, societal roles. It's the embrace of the taboo and rejection of dogma. So I really like, what I do like about it reversed is the questioning of dogma, not just about religion, but about everything. That point in a person's life where they question everything that they've been told, because it's like, it's not just religion, but this, society's programs, and deciding if that's something that you want to keep in your life, but at least then it can be a conscious choice. So when you question everything, you might decide to keep it and you might not, but you question that process there. And, you look at the surrounding cards, but, opposite of dogma is an eclectic path. You're like, it's almost like an alchemist in a way, picking and choosing what makes sense to you, what feels right to you, what kind of makes what you want to make as a person. It's almost like you as a person are an art project in a way, picking and choosing what makes sense just because you think of yourself spiritually as a Buddhist doesn't mean that you can't look into Satanism, Christianity, or be a little bit agnostic about all of it. There's a whole bunch of variety, and for a lot of us, that's kind of what we become. So you question and you go your own path. So that after you question everything, now you're on the road alone, you're on the path alone. You've got lots of friends but you know who you are and you're going to go on this path that you've decided. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit. With the Hierophant, I will continue to see how I can work with the lighting here, but I hope you guys are out there staying safe and have a good day.